Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you on based on, whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
At ease. It's your boy Soul Immortal. Man, I'm out here just getting some downtown out here at Clearwater Beach, down here in Florida. And I was just thinking about something, man. I had a very good interview a few days ago with some good friends of mine. Victoria and Abdul have a podcast on Instagram called On the Spectrum. And during that interview, man, she asked me a very good question. She asked me, she said, what role does a woman play in the life of a purpose-driven man, right? And I pondered on it, guys. And the first thing that came to my mind is that, you know, first off, if a man hasn't found his purpose, a man has no reason to be entertaining a relationship. And I think that's where a lot of us haven't messed up. I know for a fact that at least I know that's where I had it messed up. You know, when I think about, you know, all the relationships, you know, in the last, 10, 15 or whatever years, man, you know, I wonder if, or I ask myself, I say, how many of these women were actually, solid women that wanted to pour into me, but I had nothing for them to pour into. And then I think about, I said, man, all the relationships I had before I actually, found my purpose or stepped into my purpose, what I'm saying is this: the reason I don't think a man should even entertain a relationship without finding his purpose is because something's gonna always be getting on that man's nerves when it comes to that woman. You know what I'm saying? And the reason is because he's always searching for something. He can't even be in his full role as a man because he's still searching. And I think about one of my favorite books. You heard me talk about what's the book? The Alchemist. When young Santiago met Fatima, right? She was his 5% woman, man. She was his, he had found that right woman. And she wanted to settle down right there in the village, man. They had the bag, they had everything good. And brother was like, no, like I gotta keep going, like I'm almost to my purpose. I'm almost to my destination. Because that brother knew if he were living in his purpose, then really that woman would have no value in his life. So I think that when it comes to purpose, like in relationships, guys, we have to tap into that first, or a relationship is actually pointless. Now, when you think about the question, like how does a woman, like what's a woman's role, or how can she, how does she fit in the life of a purpose-driven man? There are some things that some key factors rather that I think a woman should bring to the table. One is, I think she needs to be a strong supporting cast, right? There are a lot of women now that want to come in and they want to operate just like men. They want to have the same, I think that, it's going to go against what I've said in the past. I think if that traditional outline is not part of the relationship, it's destined to fail. It's destined to fail, man. I think a woman needs to come in and want to be a supporting cast, not an equal, not a breadwinner. She needs to be a supporting cast to the purpose-driven man, right? She needs to have his back, and what I mean by that, like she needs to be observing his life, wanting to catch things before they come. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of guys want women to be. Hold on, let me get the camera right. I know a lot of guys want women to be, all timid and come in and soft-spoken and don't say nothing and just listen to what I say. But brothers, if we're gonna bring a woman on our team, we got to understand that that's part of our team. Like she needs to be looking out for you. If you moving wrong, you need that woman to be say, hey, you know what, babe, this is what you're doing. Like I see you slipping. That's what you need, man. You need somebody that's watching your six. But the main thing I think a woman needs to do, and this is just my personal opinion, I think a woman needs to give a man balance. That's by far the most important. And when I say balance, that means it goes back to when I say a woman needs to be in her full femininity, right? Because I think about this, man, and I thought about this when Sister Victoria asked me the question. I said, this is what I noticed. I noticed that when I'm interacting with, you know, and I mean like relationship, or, you know, with a woman that's very feminine, then it does something different to me without me even knowing it. Let me get back in the sun. It's dark. It does, you know, it puts me more in my masculine energy without me even being aware of it. And the fact that I'm raising my son, I can see it. When I have a feminine woman in my life, it does something to me. Like, it just puts me more in a masculine energy without me even knowing it. Because you have to understand this. You got to understand this. When a person is single, when a person is by themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think in most situations it's best for people to be alone. But when a person is alone, they have to balance that feminine and masculine energy. There's no, and that goes for men and women. When you have a single mother, she's having to balance that masculine and feminine energy, and that's kind of why we have a lot of the problems we have. So when a man is single, he has to do it's law. He has to do the same thing. So what I would say, one of the greatest things that a woman would need to bring to the table, or how she could add value to any purpose-driven man's life, is to just be in her feminine energy. In other words, you know, it's like a seesaw. It's a scale. I need her to be on the far extreme end of her femininity, so I can be on the far extreme end of masculine energy. But just in a nutshell, guys, I think that's where, you know, going back to even entertaining women, I think that's where we drop the ball a lot of times. I don't think that we should even be entertaining women. I'm talking about relationships. I'm not talking about hanging out and kicking it with women, going on trip, whatever you do. I'm talking about entertaining relationships. I don't think we as men should be entertaining relationships at all until we found our purpose.